So today I'm going to be doing a video about 3D printing. I'm basically just going to do an overview of its status in China. So what is 3D printing? 3D printing is an additive technology used to manufacture parts. It's additive, and what that means is that it doesn't require a block of material or a mold to manufacture physical objects, and it simply stacks and fuses layers of material together. It's very fast and it has low fixed setup costs, and it can create very, very complex geometries that aren't able to be created by traditional technologies for manufacturing. Um, 3D printing is used to make prototypes for different companies, like prototypes of different future products that they might want to create to see how they work. Jewelry, toys, home decor, and people that have 3D printers also can rent them out to other people for multiple other uses. So who is using 3D printing? So some additional sectors that utilize 3D printing currently are included, but not limited to, aerospace. They can use 3D printing to make different parts for airplanes. The automotive industry, which can use 3D printing to make prototypes for different cars as well as finished products for they can substitute for traditionally created parts from the company. The manufacturing sector, which 3D printing can be used to make both finished products and prototypes, as well as robotics and education. So 3D printing can be used in the education sector to bring objects to life and kind of bridge the gap between auditory learning and visual learning and create a three-dimensional learning piece. So three specific industries that I'm very interested in when it comes to 3D printing are art, fashion, and medicine. So with art, 3D printing can be utilized to create these very intricate sculptures that are unparalleled in intricacy compared to the human hand. In fashion, 3D printing can be made or used to make different pieces of jewelry as well as hats and other prototype pieces of fashion. And with medicine, 3D printing can be used to create artificial organs as well as different healthcare tools that might not be readily available without a 3D printer. So one job opportunity that I want to bring up that you can utilize with 3D printing is the job of finishing machinist. You can have this job straight out of college. All it requires is just training in the job, some minor training, and depending on where you're working, you can make anywhere from $30,000 to $70,000 a year. It really just depends on where you're working and what your role is. So, where are they using 3D printing? 3D printing is pretty much spread to everywhere. They use it in the sector of education, as well as manufacturing and jewelry, as well as all the other ones that I talked about earlier. And most countries are adopting it as these printers are becoming more and more available and accessible. So now I'm going to be doing a SWOT analysis on 3D printing. So the strengths of 3D printing is that it's efficient, it's fast, there's no mold or starter material required, and there is an extremely low fixed setup cost. The weaknesses include the printers aren't as financially accessible as they could be right now, and also the generic plastic material from the printer may not be as strong as metal or wood, which you'd have to pay extra for. So the opportunities include printer rental, which means you can rent out your own printer to other people for use, which allows that asset to appreciate. And then also another opportunity is streamlined production. So you can streamline your prototype production as well as your finished product production with these 3D printers, as well as quicker research and development processes since you're able to create more prototypes at a time. So when it comes to threats, the only threat that I could really think of is that 3D printing could cause disruption to other well-known manufacturing processes if it's introduced into a company's supply chain too quickly. And we wouldn't want this to stir up any kind of flow that these companies might have as far as their supply chain processes go right now. So when do I see the mass adoption of 3D printers? I see it right now. I see so many products being 3D printed. We have 3D printers here at App State, and I see it right now. The barriers that I see to the mass adoption are the status of our economy and inflation, as well as the financial accessibility of these printers, because they're pretty expensive right now. So concerning sustainable development goals, I believe that 3D printing could help tackle sustainable development goal number 4 of quality education by, like I said earlier, bridging the gap between visual and auditory learning and creating a 3D piece of learning material and allowing these kids to understand this disruptive technology. And then SDG number 8 of decent work and economic growth. Since 3D printing is creating so many more job opportunities and increasing efficiency across the board, the economy can only go up as a result of this technology. SDG number 3, good health and well-being, can be addressed by 3D printing, because healthcare is utilizing 3D printers right now to create medical tools as well as create organs for people. So now I'm going to say 2 truths and 1 lie about 3D printing. So number 1, someone has successfully received a 3D printed bladder after a bladder transplant. Number 2, 3D printing started in the 1980s. And then number 3, 3D printing cannot be applied to the entertainment industry. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.